Yeah. Life won't let you be no Indian giver, and I say that just to tell you that you never get the present back. Hope you use your intellect, hope you don't spend it selling crack. Hope you ain't up on the internet typing what you would never speak out, hoping to get respect. It don't work like that, if it do, we should get it checked. Some rappers work like that, and them niggas be getting checks. I'm interjecting, I hope they feel disrespect that I saw they vid, and I'd rather my cable be disconnected. I'm a hard drive to the game, I save it. Whole life been hard like pavement. Tryna be 24 years old with a little stock in a nice house, no payment. Tryna be the one song that'll touch your soul if it ain't nothing on your playlist. Tryna win in this game, I hate the player, homie, you skip Bayless. This game they said it was hard to blow, but homie, you sure is. Don't get comfortable with no record deal, I be comfortable as the florist, man. Not too many no Morris, man. Not too many no Morris, those that do know he'll be him and say he need a grave in the florist chorus. Hey look, God been doing surgery on me, no anesthesia though. Feeling every little thing, but pain is what we need to grow. So I know when he stitch me back, a nigga might be breathing slow, but I never be frontin' for any type of reason, no. That's why new money goes so well with an old soul. Won't be splurging, impressing other niggas' old hoes, or changing up like niggas used to try their freshman year. New opportunities won't never fill no old hoes, bruh. You still who you was, money won't change that there. Some of the lamest niggas that I met was millionaires, thinking that they could buy some heart, nobody real in here. Really was worse as you believe them, ain't no feeling here. So I packed up all my things, my notebook at the thesaurus. Moved up to a king like my state, left all the doubts in my storage, homie. Not too many no Morris, not too many no Morris. Those that do know he'll be him until he need a grave in the florist chorus. Yeah.
I'ma just record straight into the third verse. That's the only one that's done anyway.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I never wanna be one of those artists feeling empty by a chain of flaunting. Tan like I changed the world, I'm thinking about adding diamonds on it. Even though I feel rewarded, I know that I can't afford it. Don't change the fact that I bought it, don't pay my taxes, they audit though. Now what's important is only what gets imported. Used to reveal my memories, touch my soul, I record it. How I get to the point I became what I would despise. See the voice in back of my mind, I don't be trying to ignore it, but that money, that fame, that dream made the voice of God so distorted. Harder to hear my purpose with that mercy and lago horses right next to me, plus these Porsches. These women beautiful, gorgeous, they hotter than flaming torches. I'm trying my best, I promise, but competing with all these forces. Life lesson been torture. Wanna graduate from my past, but almost too scared for new courses. Not too many no Morris, not too many no Morris. Those that do know he'll be him until he need a grave in the florist chorus. Yeah. If my favorite artist asks me what you wanna call a house, hold that, just give me the inspiration you had starting out. Cause all my favorites losing it, I wonder what that's all about. Hope it ain't paper, you touch souls, that's worth more than y'all accounts. And that's real, yeah, and that's real, my nigga, yeah, and that's real, for real. Some of the music that you made helped us wash away the pain, and that's real.
And we're live.
Yeah, we live.
What's up? Rambree's stream hype is going down. Frag Logic 95. Colin, we got 5 more to go, baby.
More.
5 more.
Already starting plans for that 100.
Yep. I think people are going to be excited for that 100. That 100. Today's episode should be pretty quick. Not a whole lot of like big news. We got some major releases today. Grand Theft Auto 5, Far Cry 4, Dragon Age Inquisition. Seems like, Colin, we had a lot of big titles this year, which we're going to talk about towards the end of the show. But this week's games might be I think, consistently across the board, the best received so far of the major releases.
I don't know. There was a week where Alien Isolation and Shadow Mortar came out.
Well, Shadow Mortar, okay, yeah. But, I mean, that's 2. This week we got 3. And GTA 5 is a re-release, so you're not counting that one?
Not counting it.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, 2 for 2. Okay, I'll give you that. So, I mean, the holiday season is about to wrap up.
They also released another awful Sonic game, so you needed dock points for that.
I didn't even see it.
Why can't they make a good Sonic game? Why can't we make a good Sonic game?
Well, yeah,
why is it impossible? It's impossible to make a good Sonic game.
I don't think Sega has the same focus on Sonic as Nintendo does with Mario, because those are always the one-to-ones.
But there are, because they've released like 20-some Sonic games, and every single one of them has sucked since, the good ones, which were like 15 years ago.
It's longer than that, dude.
It's been a while since a good Sonic game. We're in a Sonic drought. You need to watch the video. I need to share. Game Grumps was doing a segment, or they did play.
I watched them. Yeah. I watched them.
Yeah.
They did some loadout stuff.
They
Kupo!
were ripping on it. It was bad.
Kupo, Chappie, Hawk Tanner, Jim, Rodrigue, Pot even, Armada, It's Bay. What up? Imagine we're going to get some more people coming in. I see some of you guys lurking in the chat. I see Hutchie up in there. I see you, Hutchie.
That trick.
So, starting off with the weekend gaming. So, I played... Look, I'm on the triple-headed... Colin, I told you. I'm on that triple-headed Hydra right now.
Triple-headed Hydra. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I got Destiny, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and Halo that I'm playing. Halo, not so much. The other 2 I've been playing quite a bit of. And Halo is just a factor of that I still can't play it, which is unfortunate. So Destiny actually today released a big patch, 2.4 gigs. I will talk a little bit about it, but I just want to kind of, blast through weekend gaming. Played some Iron Banner this morning. Feels better. Still feels like, if you have a better shot and you come in at level 20, you can probably wreck people. But I'm not 100% sure because I don't have a level 20 character. Maybe I should take my Titan into the Iron Banner and see how that plays as 24. Or I just take all the shit off of my...
Just gear down, man.
Yeah, I can just gear down and see how it plays.
Give yourself a challenge.
So yeah, that'd be interesting. I'm trying to think what else. They changed around some balance things, which we'll talk about with the patch on Control, specifically on Blind Watch, which was pretty bad anyway.
I saw they fixed the jumping off map revive exploit.
Yeah, they fixed that a while ago.
It was just now in the patch notes.
Well, yeah, they don't count the score anymore for that
Suicide revives.
For suicide revives. So I think they just fixed it by not letting you score for revives. Like they did a hot fix for it. No one didn't tell anyone because I was paying attention to it, dude. So Advanced Warfare, I played some split screen with Christy. I also did some other stuff. I got quite a bit of Advanced Warfare gameplay that I need to start working on some commentaries for. That'll probably be coming out this week along with some... Well, actually, Grand Theft Auto is not going to come till next week, unfortunately. But, yeah, I'll probably work on some Call of Duty this week, so you guys will see some of that. Been enjoying myself on it. Still doesn't feel as good as... Like, every time I start playing, it's like... I was just playing Titanfall right now. It was so much better.
That's what happens, man. Like that happens to me every time too.
Yeah, it's like every single game except for Destiny's Crucible, man. Every single game that I've played, including Halo, is like, I'd rather just be playing Titanfall right now. That's what's happened with a lot of shooters. That's why Destiny's actually taking so much of my time right now, is because it's like the only PvP experience that I've enjoyed so far, other than Titanfall. Thoroughly enjoyed, I should say. And then with Halo Master Chief Collection. So I'm gonna tell everyone a workaround. As of right now, I had to do this for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare to get past that error code I was getting, like the integer error code value, whatever. So if you go into your settings in your Xbox console and you go to network, and then you go to your alternate MAC address, and then you hit restart or reset. I think it's restart. Once you do that, once I did that for Halo, I was actually able to connect to people. I couldn't even connect to people locally for custom games, I should say, not locally. I couldn't connect to people for custom games. I couldn't connect online. I literally only played 2 matches online in their matchmaking so far, and they stripped away all of the playlist options pretty much. I think there's 5 right now. So my only way to play was through custom games, and I played for I think we went for 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours, which was fun. It was fun when I got into some games, but it was just it was a hassle, right? So it's unfortunate right now. And then they delayed the patch, which also sucks.
Later this week, right?
Yeah. Kind of hurting, man. It's kind of hurting. Then the other thing, I was actually planning on buying my PS4 and GTA 5 today. Got home. Actually, I left from work at lunch. I was going to go to GameStop. I had to come back home to get my receipt. Christy's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I was going to go pick up the PlayStation 4." She's like, "Why don't you just wait till the Black Friday deal?" And I was like, "Oh, okay. All right, I'll just do that." So I just wait 7 days or whatever. It's a little bit more than that. I don't know if it's starting on 23rd.
10 days.
10 days. So, I know some people. I definitely want to post some GTA content on my channel. I have not done that. And I want to play first-person mode. And I'm just going to be late to the punch. Everybody's going to do everything before I get to post my videos. So, that sucks.
A little upset you're getting on PlayStation. You're going to be missing out on the best possible thing they've added, which is Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone, PC version only.
I'm getting it on PC too.
Okay. So you'll fulfill the Danger Zone quota. All right.
Yeah, I'm getting it. You getting it on PC?
I'll probably pick it up.
Okay. All right, sweet.
I need to get some looking at some PC parts for Cyber Monday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get i7, but
yeah.
Look, I'm so Christmas. Christmas. Look, my daughter's birthday is December 5th. Christy's birthday is December 9th, and then we have Christmas.
Christmas or those December birthdays.
Those
not fair.
December birthdays, man.
It's cheating.
So that's it for me, Colin. I didn't play any mobile games. Didn't play any PC stuff. What's been out with you?
Played some Halo. Played some COD. Played some Dota. Played some Gears briefly. And I've been playing as Colin's weird game for the week, Real Money Pool, iOS. You remember Gamer Saloon and all those sites that you could play for prizes on Bejeweled and shit?
Yeah.
So I didn't know this, but on iOS, a platform came out which lets you do basically just that. It's called Skills. So a bunch of games have this monetization thing. So you can play cash games on your phone. And for some reason, Apple lets it go. So as you know... Oh, wow. Fuck, sorry about that. I was opening the thing and it wouldn't go on mute. So anyways, as you know, I was a professional virtual pool player for several years.
Some people might not know this.
At a national level.
Hold on, let me find some videos.
Actually, I guess at the international level, representing our great country on Karam 3D at the World Cyber Games. So I'm starting to practice up. Get ready to do my cash games on my phone. Are you pulling up a Karam 3D trailer?
Skyless versus Shido.
Oh god, that guy tore me up. Here's the thing. See, for those that don't know, so it's a free-to-play game, right?
The link I just posted in chat is Skyless versus Shido, where Colin gets torn up.
So, for those that don't know, it was a free-to-play game, billiards, pool, 8-ball. But what they didn't tell us, so there's a land mode in the game where everyone gets the same pool cue, they have the same stats, like everything's perfectly fair. Naturally, being esports gamers, competitive gamers, that's what all of us practiced, was the fair mode. When we get there, they're like, oh no, you use your shit that you have online. So of course, we have nothing unlocked at all. So I'm using this raggedy-ass pool cue, like using a fucking branch from a tree, and all these guys are using like these $100 cues that they bought in-game. Because they've been playing the game for like 5 years, and we played for like 6 months to practice for the tournament.
This person.
But yeah, so I played at a national level for the World Cyber Games, represented our nation for 1 year, and then the next year I played a different game for our nation as well. For those that don't know. So anyways, iOS, the game is called Real Money Pool, if anyone wants to check it out. It's actually a really good game. A really good pool sim. Obviously, it's not really... It doesn't stand on its own as a game. But yeah, pretty good.
Oh, man, this man. There's a bunch of videos.
I was really good. Like, for those who don't know, I was really good.
Yeah,
and
he was.
Kayla can attest to it.
This is quite a while ago. There's WC, let me see. WCG 2009. This is the playlist. 2009. So
2009 is when we played Redstone.
if anybody, wait, did that take you? Hold on, let me see if this goes to the playlist. Yeah, it does. All right. So, if you feel like watching that after the show, you can. Those are all the videos that we have from 2009. Again, channel's been around a long, long ass time, doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that was in China, 2009. Cool Runnings,
Isaac,
team name.
what's up? What's up, Isaac? Nemo, what up, baby? Steely, Fierce Play, what's up? Mr. Green, what up, y'all? So, yeah, Colin.
People don't know that. I was a national level athlete.
All right. So on to Destiny. Let's talk about some Destiny, man. Talk about that Destiny, though.
I couldn't bring myself to log in, Cal.
Come on, man.
Last word was up for grabs. It was just out of my reach. Like it wasn't within my. Wasn't going to be within my grasp.
You didn't want it enough.
There's just no way. I would have had to level another character to 20.
Wait, no. Here's the thing. Did you actually get the 9 coins?
No.
Oh, see, you didn't even try. So look, next time they have it, and I'm like, Colin, you gotta log on.
I'll still be just out of reach.
Colin, I just want to go in one day. Me, you, Sean, Tense, even Devin, and maybe a Ray or Iron Man. We could fill in. We could probably take Devin out and put in a Ray or Iron Man if they're willing to play. Take out our last words, and just run through people like cowboys.
I heard reports that they nerfed it. I heard reports that they stealth nerfed it.
Maybe, but I'm still dominating people with it. So, it's good. Destiny 2. I don't even know what to call it. Well, let's just call it the 2.4 gigabit
I
patch.
think it's 1.03.
Is it 1.03?
I think so.
It's so good. Colin, it's so good. It makes you. It's the best. It is the best feeling gun I've used maybe in any game.
You don't mean it.
It's close. It's up there. It has to be top 5. Has to be top 5. I think number 1 is probably shock rifle, UT. Then maybe flat cannon, UT. Then after that, maybe bio rifle might be top 3.
Ripjack.
No, see, but Ripjack is too old though.
It's still top. It's still top. Still top.
I was too young. Like I thought it was cool, but I didn't have a visceral. I don't have a visceral feeling of that.
Ripper and the Ripjack. Then you have the prey weapons. Whew.
I didn't like the prey weapons as much as you though.
That's because you sucked at it.
I did not suck at prey. Get out of here.
The acid gun with the canister capsule thing you fire. Yeah. Prey, man.
Dude. Next thing you'll be talking about Gotham
Prey.
City
I was about
imposters.
to say.
I already
He
knew it
kicked
was.
off the revolution that led to Monday Night Combat and
I
Gotham
knew
City
it.
Imposters.
I knew it.
It was Prey that allowed for those games to happen.
That Nasher's probably up there from Gears. I don't know where I was not in my top 3. It's probably top 10. So patch came out today, yesterday, this morning. I don't know. Last night, something like that for for Destiny. Big ass patch. Lots of fixes going in. And they've kind of stated this as the patch that's getting ready for the Dark Below DLC that comes out sometime next month. An interesting thing I kind of also want to mention with the strategy behind their updates being on Tuesday is that Tuesday is traditionally major releases for video games. Like whenever you get a game release, it comes out on a Tuesday, typically. And so it was very interesting to me to see that they've actually gone on Tuesdays as their update day, because on my video, I actually had a couple people say, oh man, they came out with the update. I really want to play Iron Banner. I really want to do this. It's going to take away from my time. And so someone else had mentioned, oh shit, that's actually a really good strategy on their part to kind of pull people in that have played the game. Like, oh shit, I got to go play this today versus playing the new game. And it's just something to think about. I don't know if they did that intentionally or they just happened to fall on that day, Tuesdays, but I thought that was also interesting as well.
Activision didn't have anything coming out, right? I don't think so. I'm kind of curious if they stick with that if an Activision game's releasing that day.
Call of Duty, man. Call of Duty was last week, but they didn't have a major update though. It was just like normal stuff. So anyway, the big update I feel like the big thing out of this update I feel like that everyone should take away is that voice chat is now like enabled. I actually haven't done it because I don't use an Xbox Live mic. And I don't feel like I need to chat with anybody anyway on there. So there's team channels that you can toggle. And you can use it in Crucible matches and on strikes. So you can't just be walking around in the world like...
Why won't they do that? Like,
I don't know, Colin. Look, I don't know.
It's so frustrating.
I feel you. I don't
know
know
how many times I've wanted to say, hey, can you come over and help me with this? Or you want to do this? Or get off the fucking rock, you're making him not spawn. Like, how many times I just wanted to be able to say that? Like, that's what I wanted. That's what I want, chat.
I just want to tell people, like, if I died, I just want to be like, help. You know,
Help
just like real slow, like, help.
Oh, thanks, guy.
So that's like one of the things I would like to do. But yeah, I feel you. Like they really should free chat, open world. Walk around, just being able to
put some good tools in to be able to block them if they're talking, and then just let it go.
You can already target on players, right, with the interact button. Like you hit that one button and it. I mean,
just
that's
do
like
a quick mute.
Yeah, quick mute. So yeah, I mean, I feel you, but that's I think the biggest change that we're seeing out of this. What's up, Chief? Who else did I miss? DeWitt. Oh, Iron Man is in there. What up? So I don't know how many people are using it because I haven't logged in or toggled to one of those channels, but it's there now. Hopefully people are using it. I know that was a big point of contention on Reddit forums and on the forums themselves, not being able to talk. Classes received some balance changes. Let me copy this link so I can actually look at it. And I'll just go ahead on the page so we can kind of look at it together. Can I see it? Oh, they can. All right, so there's the voice. Added a new social feature that enables users to access a channel for team chat. Matchmade teammates will now be able to talk with each other in strikes and team-based Crucible matches. And then they have some instructions on how to toggle that. Classes says it fixed an issue with 2 players which performed a melee lunge simultaneously. This is basically bug fixes on the classes. Nothing major there. Weapons reduce camera shake when being hit with explosive rounds. I didn't really notice that a whole lot. But I did notice like some flinching just a little bit, just in general, but I didn't notice it specifically with explosive rounds. So
I hate camera shake in like every form. It's
that's
so
because
annoying.
you like Quake.
No, it's because games shouldn't fuck with your aim. If I'm aiming
Why?
at them, I should hit them. Like, that's pretty simple. That's what the entire basis of FPS games is I aim at them and I shoot them and I hit them. And then
What
all of a
about
sudden it's like, oh, an explosion nearby.
nobody could see that
ridiculous.
reaction except for me. Colin,
I forgot you had the patch notes up. Whatever.
Colin did the Numa Numa. He did the Numa Numa. Oh man. That's perks. Clown cartridge. Replace clown cartridge perk with other perks and shotgun upgrade trees. Head seeker. That's a fix. Activities, missions. Very serious. That's fix and exploit. Fix and exploit. Difficulty scale. Now this is a good interesting one with strikes. Difficulty will scale less for 3-player fire teams, making strikes less deadly for them. People are actually talking about Nightfall strikes being more difficult to solo now. And then there's like mixed reporting on whether or not that's actually true. So
They'll always just make up their own patch notes.
yeah, I don't know. So Iron Banner was today. For those of you guys that tuned in on this morning's stream, you guys saw me. I was wrecking fucking shop in Iron Banner this morning. I was going pretty hard though. I was like, had my tryhard boots on. Players must now be level 20 and above to lead an Iron Banner fire team. Players below level 20 can only accompany players above level 20. I actually wanted to see some low levels try to hop in there just to see how bad they would get stomped on. But I guess they figured that would be just too much for them. Lord Soleil now has 5 repetition ranks, increased from 3. So I actually saw Reforging in action. I think I watched More Console do this, or that to Destiny. I can't remember who it was. Anyway, so you can like re-roll your guns only if Colin they were purchased from Lord Soleil in the first place. Which I thought is kind of messed up. Like, I personally, if they added this feature, I would try to roll like 6 or 7 different guns and try to get different stuff. But I guess this is a balance mechanic for you. I guess. I don't know. I think it's cool, but it's there. Temper buff is just a buff for gaining EXP. If you're gonna use it, wait. If you're gonna use it, wait. You gotta wait. Don't buy it and use it right away. Because as soon as you buy it, it starts. So wait. The rest of these cinematics, those are fixes. Events. Here's a big one.
Wait,
public events.
Destiny has cinematics?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
There's like 2 or 3.
I didn't realize that was a plural. I guess if you count the one at the beginning of the game and the one at the end of the game, then yeah, I guess it's cinematics. You're right. There are cinematics.
There's some public events. There's quite a few now, but they will occur 10 to 15% more frequently in all public places. That actually says spaces, but let's see here. That's pretty much it for those that I feel like are valid.
Bounty stuff. 5%.
PvP stuff. I'm gonna get into because I like Crucible. General enable revive scoring for skirmish and salvage. Colin, see, they disabled it.
Yeah. Okay. So that was their quick fix, though.
Right. The quick
And then
fix
they
was
fixed the exploit.
exactly fix an exploit with revive scoring when entering a kill volume and having a teammate revive you for easy points. So skirmishes now has its objective back for more points. Just to join in progress settings for all players to minimize long periods of unbalanced teams due to players quitting out of matches. Thank you. Finally. I still haven't noticed this. We actually played a 4 versus 5. It was me and Misfit this morning in Iron Banner. We played 4 versus 5 Control, and we won because we outslayed them, Colin, in Control because their scoring doesn't make sense in Control, which is domination. But we outslayed them and we won. Doesn't make sense. Whatever. Added new functionality to match preformed fire teams against each other. What does this mean?
Why isn't that a ship feature?
Holy crap!
That's
and 3v3
really
games. This
really
is pretty
basic.
big. This
It's
is
really
pretty
this
big.
is such a simple fucking thing to ship with.
This is pretty big too. In 3v3 games, fire teams of 2 or more players will match together more frequently. In 6v6 games, fire teams of 4 or more players will match together more frequently. Why wasn't this there from the get-go?
Added
Holy
new
shit.
functionality to match large parties with large parties.
And then there's some balance changes. I'm going to stop and get off of that. There's some balance changes that were made to the maps. The biggest one that I noticed on Control, at least, was that on Blind Watch, which I frequently talk about as one of the worst Control maps because of where they've actually placed the points. But again, ultimately, it doesn't matter. If you get up, look, if you get up and you're holding A and kills, all you got to do is sit there. That's all you got to do, and you can win, right? That's it. So you just sit at A after you get up and kills, and you can win the game because moving around just doesn't matter, or controlling points, I should say, doesn't matter. But they actually moved some of the points, Colin. So where B was at that, like, you turn the corner and it's like sitting around that pillar. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They actually moved it to the intersection of all the steps in that same room. So like the top, bottom steps right in the middle in that area is where that B is. C got moved outside underneath that awning and behind, actually right in front of the spawn when you spawn at the beginning of the game on that low side. And then A got moved from top side to right outside that door that leads to the heavy ammo. So all types of changes. Ultimately, it doesn't matter because that low side is still the better side.
And the map
BC.
sucks.
Yeah, and the map is not good for Control at all.
Just sucks.
They also made some other changes, like they closed the window overlooking C.
You can just say it sucks.
Look, I already said I didn't like
You
the
said it's
changes
bad for
that they made.
Control, but you should go ahead and just say that it sucks.
Look, I don't mind it on Clash, but
It sucks.
I mean, Clash, it just flips which side is better.
It's pretty bad.
Like the top side is better. It's not a great map. It's
It's
not
a
one
bad
of
map.
bun-
You
it's
could
not a
go as
bun-
far as to say it's a bad map.
I wouldn't know. There's much worse maps than I've played than Blind Watch. And the history of maps? Come on,
In the
Colin.
history of Destiny, it's the worst map on Destiny.
No, it's not. First Light, Bastion.
Yeah,
First Light, Bastion.
There's some pretty bad maps.
Firebase. They really need to work on making some more maps for the game. That is a point that I've been to make. But some of the ones in 3v3 are so good. Like Anomaly is good, Burning Shrine is good, Asylum is decent, and what is that one? I can't think of what it is. There's one more that I can't think of. It's good too. Those small maps are good, man.
Yep.
Good. Other than that, I mean, you guys can check out the rest of those. I don't want to, bore you guys looking through the rest of this, but I played the update. It feels pretty good. They got some new UI stuff, new cosmetic stuff. So, as an example, when you actually pick up helium filaments, the little icon that you get for them is actually changed. It looks a little bit better. There was for the Order, or is that the Monarch? The Monarch. There's 2 armbands, Warlock bands, that were the same color. They were white and they had the red Monarch symbol. One of them is now red on red, and the other one is the one that they had previously, the white on red. So there's little cosmetic changes here and there. They added some new shaders. I feel like it's a pretty good patch. Voice chat, again, being the big one. Balance changes to Control, and a couple other maps being probably the second biggest thing there. And then obviously for the event, you got Iron Banner that's now in. I'm still enjoying the shit out of the game, and that's mostly because every other game right now is just not as good for me PvP wise. That's just the honest truth. Some people don't like PvP. I get it. That's not your cup of tea, but yo, Destiny's PvP right now is killing it for me. So good. So good, Colin. So good. And that's all I got on Destiny. If y'all got any questions, you want me to talk about anything, we could talk about it at the Q&A session. Just remember those questions. All right, here's an interesting one, Colin. Steam Early Access. games. We'll just put it that way. Because I don't think it's gonna fit. All right, so Steam Early Access games. There was an article posted by Games Industry Biz. I'll link it to you guys. This is a very, very interesting stat, especially considering I was part of this with Edge of Reality. Our game actually came out of early access and was one of the ones that's on that success chart. But 25%, only 25% of early access games so far have been released as full games. 25%, 1 in 4, Colin.
And all those people paid up front. Usually more than the game actually costs at release.
Yes. That's crazy.
Yeah. And there's no repercussions whatsoever for not shipping your game. It's early access.
On Steam.
On Steam.
On Kickstarter, you get your money back. Well, here's the thing. Okay, so if you don't meet the funding goal, you get your money back.
Right. But it's pretty fuzzy.
Right. If you finish the game and then you release it, and it's like half-ass, that's all they give you, and you don't get your money back.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some nice graphs on that website, which kind of outline everything. It looks bad no matter how you look at it.
It's pretty crazy from, a standpoint of seeing how early access Kickstarter stuff exploded. Hell, at the beginning of this year and late last year, and then you see this, like the success of those, and you kind of think, man, maybe I really shouldn't be looking at early access games to invest my money in. Despite there being a lot of new, possibly creative stuff from these indie studios, it doesn't seem like if you're giving them your money that they're actually producing games for you in some cases. Not necessarily all cases, but obviously. But
well, I think you can accurately say many cases.
Yes.
Given that 75% haven't shipped.
So that's kind of unsettling to kind of see that. But I would hope that as this program or this type of program matures over time, you'll see, I think, less people rushing to go into early access, more methodical planning about how you go about going into early access and planning out, the different payment options, I would say, as a game developer for your player base. And then from a consumer standpoint, being more conscious of early access titles and then looking at the, I would say, history of some of the studios producing those games.
I mean, really, it's on the consumers more so. Because, I mean, you say that, like, over time, maybe developers will be more cautious and think things through, but looking at the trends, there's more games releasing as early access and fewer games getting done. So, like, clearly everyone's realizing that it's an easy cash grab and that there's really no downside to it because you build a player base, you collect the money, and then you really don't have to fulfill anything other than alpha build or early access build, and that's it.
So here's the thing this is why I disagree with that. I think initially, yeah, sure, it's a cash grab, right? So that's a trend right now. But I think if you are a game developer and you say, shit, if I try game number 2, am I gonna still get that same, like, you've burned those people, right?
You don't, though. You just make a new company.
You make a new company, hide the name of yourself behind the company, and just produce it as blah 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 games, and you continue to reap the benefit.
Yeah, or you just put out a release saying, "Oh man, game development's hard. It's really expensive, and this isn't going to work out." And then you go away, and like people won't perceive it as being negative. They'll forget about it in the 1 or 2 years it takes for your next game to come out. Like. So far, I haven't seen very many developers actually get punished for being douchebags and bailing on projects.
Yeah, I would agree. We have not seen that. Okay.
But your name isn't necessarily attached to your company, right? Like, isn't necessarily. Obviously, you can, but like, you don't even have to. You can be like, "Oh, we're a new company." Blah 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 blah.
I guess thinking about it,
it relies on people to like do lots of journalism just to figure out exactly who's behind things.
The most, I'd say mind share that I have about one specific game, and I don't even know the names of any of these dudes, was War Z. That is the only company, I don't even know the name of the company, where they actually had to change the name of the game. People were talking about it as like some scam. This is when DayZ started to take off. And that studio seemed like they were doing some pretty grimy stuff. I don't necessarily know if I can remember any of the names behind those people, but I'm sure I could search it. Certainly, I could search it to see what those guys are. So yeah, I think you're right. It's probably definitely a little bit more on the consumer than the developer, but I still think that there is going to be some number of developers that say, okay, we did this shitty this time. Let's figure out a better way so that we don't continue to burn our player base and so that we can actually build to a more successful future.
It's expensive though.
It is.
Game development's hard. You just don't have the resources to finish sometimes. Buy our new project. It's easy. Like it's too easy of an out. And until consumers get smarter, it's going to keep on happening.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't think the people are like going. I don't think developers go into it planning to bail after a few months. You know, like I don't think that that's the case. But I think expectations are possibly misplaced as far as both completion, or like the scope of the rest of the project. The impact of having people playing your game early, I think, is often underestimated. In the sense you get feedback right away and then you want to go address it, you know, and then it starts mounting and mounting and mounting, or your game gets identified as being super broken, and then it's like, well, shit, I thought I was in a better spot than I was, but now I'm in this really bad spot, and like maybe this just won't work. Maybe my game doesn't work from a design standpoint, and it's like, okay, then I guess we're done. Game development's hard, blah 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 blah. Well, I feel like that's what happens a lot.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen the same stuff. So yeah, sure. That's definitely an easy out for them. That being said, talking about early access, which is traditionally a platform for indies, I want to talk about some of the big game releases this year. Again, we're about at the end of the season. We're gonna talk about some Halo, talk about some other games throughout the course of the year. Try to talk about PC and console, if you can remember all the big PC titles this year. But let's see, what do I have this actually titled as? Big game releases 2014. All right. So the way I want to kind of structure this conversation is, right, there's PC, obviously, games. There's console games. There's obviously some ones that have some major issues. There's also some ones that pretty much didn't have any issues. And for all intent and purposes, released almost damn near flawlessly. And from a consumer standpoint, I think I read an article, I can't remember who it was from. I think it was on Polygon or GameSpot. Can't remember, but they talked about basically saying consumers need to get smarter. Exactly what you said, Colin. But it was in a way that was like, hey, this idea of pre-ordering games that are clearly broken and are not working, and they're like these mega blockbuster games, and you would think that they would work on release. Hey, we're doing something stupid here. We need to stop with this buying pre-order games, and we don't even know if the games are going to work when we get them. Basically, that cycle of pre-ordering a game before it's out, and then you play it and it's trash. And just being a smarter consumer. That was the gist of the article. So trying to wrap your head around that for this year, and talking about some of the games that have come out. What do you feel like, from your standpoint, have been the games that have done things correctly? And I already have the pretty clear one in my mind as of right now. Done things correctly. Was I would say, fairly big game from a media standpoint, fairly big game from a player standpoint, and had very little issues. PC and console.
Titanfall. That's the game that comes to mind. Like most other games I can think of have had some issues.
Is that it? That's all you got?
That's all I got. I'm trying to think of the list. Like, yes, I needed to prepare a list for this one. For the game releases this year.
All right, so first off, let's look at game releases 24. We'll go through. Game releases 2014. All right, so this is from Game Informer, so this is pretty accurate. So let's see, what is big here from this list? Starting in January, we had Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. January 9th. I don't actually know if that came out on that date. That's like the biggest game in that month.
Tomb Raider. Well, I guess that was the
Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. Did
Yeah.
not count on that. February, we had World of Tanks on the Xbox 360.
It's almost nothing, man. There's nothing.
There's
Plants
nothing
vs.
there.
Zombies, Garden Warfare.
Plants vs. Thief, Colin. Thief.
And Thief crashed.
Yep.
Largely because I guess they didn't listen to their fan base. Oh, fuck, that hurt.
This dude's throat is jacked
I
up.
had a sore throat. Oh,
Oh, okay. So March, Colin. March, we had Titanfall. We also had Hearthstone.
Hearthstone hasn't actually released.
But it
I guess it did eventually, but
It did.
that was beta, I think.
March 11th was when everyone could play.
Was it? It was open?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
So Hearthstone.
Hearthstone's probably been the biggest release this year in terms of just success story.
Which everybody was hating on initially.
That and I think Divinity: Original Sin would be another. That kind of came out of nowhere and was really successful.
Yeah. Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls, that doesn't count. And that's it for March. April, we had nothing. Elder Scrolls Online.
Flopped.
No, I wouldn't say. I don't feel like they had many issues that I can think of.
Just wasn't fun.
But it wasn't a commercial success. No, not at all. That's it. May. Oh God, May was the month of Watch Dogs.
This year has been rough, man. Like when you look at it, I saw a stat earlier that there's only been 2 games. Actually, I think it's actually down to 1 game now, which have been over 90% on Metacritic for all year.
Mario Kart 8 also came out in May, which very successful launch. In fact, I would say Mario Kart 8 maybe single-handedly turned a lot of perception about the Wii U around.
Bayonetta 2, by the way, it's the only game over 90.
What?
Even Dragon Age right now is at like 86.
Wow.
I think it's partially on the critics, but anyways.
So Mario Kart 8, I would say that was a successful launch. Watch Dogs, not so much. That was in May. June,
WildStar.
WildStar. They didn't have a bad launch.
It's pretty bad, I guess, from MMO people. I was listening to people talking about it the other day. Divinity: Original Sin. Solid.
Man, that was a sleeper, though.
Yep.
July, we got nothing. And
Firefall.
then Firefall.
Chalk another one up.
Man, August. I'm looking here hard, guys. Madden NFL 15, which was probably one of the best Maddens in the last
Well received, yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls Ultimate Evil Edition. And September. All right, so this starts Destiny. Let me see. We have
Sims.
Sims 4. And then we had Destiny. Minecraft on Xbox One. Can't really count that. And PS4. I don't see anything else. Hyrule Warriors for Wii U.
Shadow Mortar.
Shadow of Mordor, September 30th. So, all right. So from that list, I think, and then October we had a couple more in October. We had Alien Isolation, Drive Club, NBA 2K15,
Smash 3DS.
Smash 3DS, big title. We had Borderlands the pre-sequel, The Evil Within. Oh man, it just goes on and on. Oh, Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition that came out. Then I forgot all about that. Bayonetta 2 and Sunset Overdrive. And that's it. November we got Call of Duty. We have Halo. We got more coming. We GTA 5. We got Dragon Age and Far Cry 4. Also had Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah, both Assassin's Creeds.
And then we have Smash, which is the 21st. And I think that is about it. Chivalry comes out on the PS3 and Xbox 360 next month. Interesting. All right, so that's
So I mean, like a lot of that list had issues.
So from that list, look, I got I got Mario Kart 8, I got Titanfall. These are the games that had pretty good launches. Titanfall, Mario Kart 8. I gotta look back at August.
Smash will probably be fine.
Madden, Smash,
I anticipate Smash on Wii is probably be fine.
Shadow of Mordor, and then after that, we still got to see what this like. GTA 5 has, if you want to call that a major release. It doesn't count really for this year because it's a re-release. But they have transfer character issues. We have to still see. I think the verdict is out on Far Cry 4 and on the fuck is the other game? I can't think of what. There's just Dragon Age. Dragon Age. You know, I think there's a couple.
Sunset Overdrive too. I forgot.
Sunset Overdrive had a pretty good launch. There was no issues with the game.
Yeah.
Commercial success, I would say, from a Metacritic standpoint, like people liked the game. I just don't think it sold a lot because they had a lot of heavy hitters that they were going against. So yeah, there's a couple. I think from a multiplayer, if we go into multiplayer, I think from a multiplayer standpoint, the only game that really stands out to me is probably Titanfall shooter wise. There's a couple others like Mario Kart wasn't bad. Did you have any issues with Madden online?
I didn't play online.
You didn't play any online? Will, I think Raxzilla, you didn't have any issues.
I'm a
And I never
franchise
played
dude.
online. Excuse me. We talked. Oh, Evil Within is the other one I'm missing, and Alien Isolation. I also missed that one. So, you know, there's a couple in there that were decent. There's also some that were just disastrous, right? Like some issues where, from a multiplayer standpoint, they weren't working, or they were just a disappointment in general. And I think everybody knows from that list that we named off some of those games. And the question that, you know, I think kind of arose with some of the games that had multiplayer issues is like, why didn't they have a beta beforehand? Or why couldn't consumers test the games beforehand? Master Chief Collection is one that people ask about quite a bit that when I've been streaming or just talking about the game. And I mean, I don't really know why they didn't. I don't really think it was something that, in my mind, I would have expected a beta for the Master Chief Collection. It just would seem weird. So, you know, I guess the matchmaking issues were kind of unforeseen and weren't expected. So I don't really count that as one. I think that's kind of an outlier. And if you play the campaign, like the campaign is solid, right? Like it's the same experience repackaged that we've already had, remastered, looks great. So from that standpoint, which is what reviewers were looking at, because they didn't get a chance to play multiplayer, I think everyone was like, "Man, this is great. This is fantastic." Um, Destiny didn't have any launch issues. Like, I mean, there were some disconnects and stuff, but I don't think it was massive.
No, you can say COD didn't have any either.
Call of Duty didn't, but
There's some errors and
they had some
crashes.
errors and stuff. Like I was experiencing a little bit of issue connecting the games. Day 1, 2, nothing quite like Halo. And then PC wise, like I'm trying to think of any. There's like really nothing. Like PC, I mean, you can say Titanfall, but there's no issues really there.
There's been like no PC like major releases. I feel
Not
like
this
all
year.
year.
Hearthstone didn't really have any. And those games had betas, right? Like so, um, I guess if you think about like this year from the standpoint of AAA games, it's kind of been a little disappointing, just a little bit. There's a couple games that I think kind of stood out. Shadow of Mordor being one, that and Bayonetta 2 also another one I think kind of was like, whoa, this game is really good. And it kind of I think puzzles a lot of people as to that process. And Colin, you said it. Game development is hard. We're sorry, trying to get it right. We're gonna keep plugging away at it. We're gonna improve your experience. Yeah, Loadout was it was an okay launch for PC. We had something like that because we had way more people than expected. We weren't a AAA game, right? Like we were just a small studio at the time.
Yeah, I think like looking back at like the old 360 launch, like the first year after 360 came out and the PlayStation 3 came out, there's tons of issues as well. Just new platforms, new hardware, new network stuff.
Yep.
So I feel like we got hit with a lot of that this year.
That's definitely, I think that's definitely a factor in it. Do you feel like on the topic of like betas and alphas and getting people testing games early, I know EA is talking about doing that. So is Ubisoft, right? Like after their stuff. You saw people talking about Ubisoft is the new EA, right? Like just ridiculous stuff going around right now. But do you feel like betas and alphas and people testing need to happen more frequently for a lot of games?
If your game is entirely focused around networks and multiplayer, then I think it makes sense. Beyond that, I don't know. And really, it needs to be early enough, right? Like we've talked about it a ton. That doing a beta 2 weeks before is not enough time to be able to iron out all your problems by the time launch happens.
Exactly.
So I feel like that's where it's at currently. But yeah, weird and possible. And I think that there's been a lot of talk about doing it. PC is already doing it. It's just a platform thing, I feel like.
Yeah, it's true.
Like realistically, there's tons of PC games that have done that already, or they've released the game in a beta state with that kind of caveat.
Right.
And they've done invite-only type things to get people in slowly over time. So I think that's where it's at currently.
The other issue is like some of these titles are like annualized. So how do you fit in a beta that makes sense?
It takes a lot of extra development work just to do a beta. Like it's a whole separate build. You branch everything off. Like that's its own thing that lives by itself. It needs its own testing in addition to the main game. And then you need a big support staff on hand to be able to look at all those issues people are reporting and start getting everything fixed over on the other side. Like it's a lot of work and time. Where if you're doing a yearly release, like you don't have that in your time schedule. If you're doing a bi-yearly, even like 2 years crank out a game, especially on new platforms, is really tight.
Yep. So I mean, from that standpoint, if you kind of look at those things, I think it's difficult to assess, and I kind of agree exactly with what you said. It's difficult to assess when a game needs a beta. I would say if it's one that relies completely on online infrastructure, and having a server so that you can actually log into your character or whatever to play, then I definitely think that a beta is needed, or alpha. But like for a single player game, or some of the games that have been not focused on multiplayer, I would say it's kind of a gray, right? Like And on top of that, it's like, how long do you do a beta? Is it like a weekend beta? Is it like Evolve, where you get like a weekend, you get 3 days or something, like 2 days? Because what happens, and this is what I think happened with Titanfall, is that if you do a 3 week beta, and it could happen with Halo, but theirs is pretty far out, whereas Titanfall came out like what, a month before the game.
Yeah, I think maybe less than a month.
So, like, if you time it in a way where you're playing 3 weeks or 2 weeks or something like that, and then your game comes out a month later, people will sit on your game for hundreds of hours. We've established this. They will play your game for hundreds of hours, and then when your game comes out, they're like, "Oh, I just played all this shit. I'm done. This game is boring. There's not enough for me." Like, motherfucker, you played 100 hours. So I think that's the downside of having betas, and I think developers are kind of conscious of that, especially if it's around launch that they have these things scheduled.
Yeah, and if you do it crazy early, then I remember with Gears 3, even when the game came out, everyone's like, "Oh man, it was better in beta," because they'd forgotten, right? Like they'd forgotten all sorts of the little issues and the little annoyances. Then all of a sudden it was like, "Oh, whatever changed is bad," because I enjoyed it more during the beta when I put in all those hours.
Right.
So I think you're always kind of having that as well, which is why when PC games do it, it's usually like, here's the game. We're letting people in slowly, 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 slowly. Bigger pool, bigger pool, bigger pool. We're released. Like there's never a period you aren't playing, and like you're continually part of that. And there's not a beta feel because you're getting all the content up front.
Right.
Like, you're not getting a piecemeal. You aren't getting just a little bit. Like everything's there. Everything's in the game, and you're just working out issues from there on out and adding to it. So I think that's the way to go. But again, like that requires a pretty solid infrastructure and back end, which
Right.
I don't think the current platforms have shown yet. I think that there was talks about it before releases of both consoles, and it'll get there eventually. But I don't feel like it's there yet, or I haven't seen it in action.
Right. And I mean, part of the issue, especially on consoles, is like kind of exactly what you're talking about, is that Xbox certification stuff for getting your next build ready for your game. Is like, that process is like a chokehold right now. Like, it's a bottleneck. You can't get through to update your game in a consistent pace that you would on PC. So it makes it difficult to have the process of a beta where or an alpha where you letting those people in gradually, but they have the entire game. They have access to all aspects of the game, I would say, from day one to day however long they're still playing, as more people are coming in. But it's just, you can't iterate. You can't make those iterative changes on your game on console right now. So I think that's kind of a good point about PC versus console in this development discussion. But what's up, Kona? It's certainly, I think, an interesting thing to kind of think about, wrap your head around, for just something to think about with gaming in general. With that, I think that this is a good time to get the Q&A. This is almost right at the hour, but for the 100th episode, I think we're going to kind of talk about this a little bit more, in a way that I think you guys will enjoy. And again, I have to kind of corral all this and get it formulated and talk to Colin about it a little bit more. But episode 100, we're gonna have some kind of like game of the year discussions. You could say that, games we've enjoyed for the year. But right now, again, it's still in the early phase.
That's New Year's Eve, by the way. The eve. of
December 30th.
Yeah.
All right. We gotta make sure people aren't.
People are gonna be playing Halo 5 beta, so we're gonna have to pull them off Halo 5 beta,
I think it'll be possible.
and we'll probably have to talk to them about Halo 5 as well.
What about Halo MCC talk? I mixed a little bit in there. I mean, I talked about campaign experience. I've talked about playing customs, Dynasty. So I talked about it earlier in the show. So just to reiterate some of the things I mentioned with Halo Master Chief Collection, my time on the game has been limited. I have not been able to play any multiplayer matches up until I did basically a MAC address reset on my Xbox One. All my other games worked online, but in order to work on Halo, I had to do a restart or reset on my MAC address in my console. And then after I was doing that, I could connect to custom games. I couldn't even connect to custom games. I've only played 2 online matches, and I played 3 hours of the campaign on. I'm on Halo CE right now, and I mean, to be honest, like, I don't really care about finishing the campaign. I don't really care too much about the story. I've already played Halo 1 through 4 for campaign. I'm ready for 5's continuation of Master Chief's story. One of the very few campaigns that I actually enjoy playing. Matchmaking is still kind of off for Halo, but there's really just nothing for me to talk about. Like, I'm not going to sit here and bash on the game. They stated that the patch is delayed. So I mean, I can't really talk about anything about the game because I just haven't been able to play. So, and again, it's frustrating, but hey, whatever. I don't know. Well, what more can I say, Dynasty? We get to the Q&A sesh. That Q&A. And Colin, this dude.
It's 23rd? Hold up. He's saying it's 23rd. So let's see. Next week will be 96. Then the second will be 97, 98, 99. Is it really the 23rd? Okay. It's 23rd, yeah.
All right.
Thanks to Jam Rodrigue.
23rd.
Checking my numbers. So that's Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Christmas Eve. Well, I gotta see how many people. Hopefully, everybody can tune in. Should be on break. Get away from your family for a little bit.
At the very least, going home from work early those days. Very least.
All right. I'm looking back at the chat a little bit.
If you guys want to go ahead and
Dogs.
put a question there, we can also talk about the Evolve esports thing.
Oh shit! And you know what else I have in there, Colin? That Interstellar movie discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't forget about that. So, Colin, I actually saw you tweet this, and then I read the article. And you know what's funny about this? How many times have we said this shit on the show?
Yes, but I think it's also the wrong move. In the sense that, so essentially what they announced was that they're not going to have spectator mode at release. They feel that esports games are, the community comes first, and they make a game competitive, and then from there it can grow into an esport, and then you kind of can't force it. Was basically what the gist of their conversation was.
Right.
So they won't do spectator release, and then if there's a demand for it, then they'll talk about it, right?
Yep.
But I feel like you almost need it for it to grow. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like a catch-22, where really it's like, if you don't include it, there's no chance that your game is going to become competitive.
Right.
Like, you can have a niche community that plays it competitively, but it's never going to go past that. And really, like, the niche community will never justify the development time to put it in after release. Like, it just never happens, right? Like, unless your game was made with a very competitive focus, which Evolve was not, very clearly, then if you don't have the tools in there at release, then it's not going anywhere. That's my personal thoughts. But I think their reasoning is correct, but they're going about it wrong.
The reason is correct. Yes.
Really, the takeaway that they should have had was, okay, we don't need to throw money at esports. We just need to put the tools in place.
Yes. Right.
That's what you should do. They kind of misinterpreted how it works, I think.
I would say that basic level tools need to be put in place. The ability to have private matches, which we didn't get for Titanfall, right? Like,
yep.
Spectator mode was that.
We
That
still don't have for Titanfall.
Don't have that for Titanfall. So if you look at that from like a base level things that you need to have a competitive community for most games, if not all games, those two kind of come to mind. I'd say private matches come to mind more so than spectator, but spectator at this point,
private matches are the first step. Spectator mode is the second step,
right?
And you need both of them for it to really flourish.
Exactly. At this stage in the game, it's like that's a gimme. So I do like that their answer was the players define the game, and we said that multiple times. If you don't have a community to play your game, then you don't have. I mean, you just don't have a competitive game. It doesn't matter what you do, what you think about the game. The community is the one that's going to help you define rules, get things organized, and we've seen that time and time again when a league won't support your game, the developer won't support the game. But hey, you got this community of players. They go off and they start their own thing, and then it blows up.
Yep.
Number of examples that have done that. All right. Steely. He says, Arctic, do you honestly believe that with how utterly terrible the Halo Master Chief Collection is, they really don't see any of this coming before the launch, or maybe they knew something like this would happen but couldn't do anything about it because they had set the launch? I would say, look, here's the things that we don't know. We don't know the number of people that they had actually testing the matchmaking prior to the game going live. So in whatever environment that they were playing, people could have been connecting to each other just fine. We don't know if they knew about it or not, which wouldn't really matter if they did anyway, because for the most part, if they knew about it and they released, they would still have the same mindset about, okay, we're going to try to get this patched as soon as possible. Like, ultimately, that question, that's just speculative. I don't know. So they either did know or they didn't know, and if they didn't know, it's basically based on how they tested it prior to. Like, it's hard to, you can't recreate a 2 million people, joining your servers. Like, you just can't do it unless you open it up during like a beta or something like that and have people connect to your servers. Like, you just don't know.
You currently play any free-to-play games? I play Dota almost every week. I played CSGO for a while, played Hearthstone for a while, played League for a while.
CSGO isn't free to play, is it?
No, it's not. It's cheaper. Well, you can get it on stuff for like $3.
Oh.
On iOS, I play Terra Battle. A few like just really crappy games. Real Money Pool, as I mentioned earlier.
Real Money Pool.
Yeah, so I play free to play stuff all the time. I have no problem with it, as long as it's not like pay to win, and then I just don't play.
What have I played free to play lately? Fortnite.
Honestly, to me, like Dota 2 is the best free to play model.
Okay, the only game, seriously, the only game that I played that actual people can play, Unreal Tournament, because that is actually free.
You can't just name all the stuff you guys are working on.
But that's the only game I played. In Terra Battle, I said Terra Battle already.
Like technically, any game that you play at work is free to play.
No,
I'm just saying, it's free for you to play.
UT is literally free to play.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually free to play, or will be. But it's free though. So if you have Engine, it's free. Like, just play it. That's the only game I've played lately. I haven't played any PC. Every other game that I've bought, that I've played so far, I've purchased it. So that's the only thing. That's a legitimate answer. Sweet Chin. Did you guys see Interstellar? Yes, we did. We're going to talk about it at the end of the show.
We'll tell you when to avoid spoilers and shit.
Yes. Arctic, are you Falco Master 3000? He's a white dude. Maybe Falco Master will take over my body, and I'll be able to play Smash just as well as him. Do you think MCC matchmaking being broken will affect multiplayer numbers when they finally fix it? Definitely. GTA is out. Evolve Esports.
I think that was while we were talking about it.
Okay, you're in the corner.
Yeah, I know. My throat's killing me. I'm struggling to keep up. Skyless are changing the farming in Destiny of upgrade materials. What can Destiny do to bring you back in? Fuck. I don't know. I'm probably gonna play when Temples of Osiris comes out. The like Motes of Light hardcore, I guess, mode. And I'll probably play the new content when it comes out. For me, it's just like I wanted to get more excited about the universe and stuff, and I really couldn't. And the multiplayer is too dumbed down for me. Arctic, what about you?
I'm already playing, so there's nothing. I'm already playing Destiny. There's no getting me back. I'm already playing, man. I've all had will last 2 to 3 weeks then to fall off, probably.
Does H2A have spectator mode? No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Does it? I don't think
Yes.
it does.
No, it does. They have spectator.
I don't think it does.
I thought it did.
I don't
Is it
think
just
so.
Halo 5 that has spectator?
Halo 5 has spectator. The beta will have spectator.
God damn it.
Not only that, but I read some details on it. You'll be able to spectate. Any amount of people can spectate a match, similar to like how Dota handles it. And you'll be able to like just select your friends off your friends list and pop into their game in matchmaking and spectate. Pretty good.
Are you serious, Colin?
Yeah, that was in the article I read. We talked about Halo 5 ranks, did we?
If they do this, there is no excuse. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. I don't even want to hear it. If they do this, I don't want to hear it.
Did we talk about the Halo 5 ranks? I don't know if we did.
No, I saw you mention it on Twitter though.
Yeah, so like also during the beta, each playlist is going to have its own rank, just like Halo 2 does. And it goes 5 different tiers. And then once you get to like the last tier, it's called semi-pro. And then you get a number. So it's kind of like ELO or matchmaking rating in like Dota, for example. And then the number will just keep going up. Like there's no limit once you get to semi-pro. It just keeps going up, similar to how ELO would. And then the top 200 people will be designated as pro, as far as the game ranking system's concerned, and they'll probably be on a leaderboard, I think is what they said. So that's all going to be in the beta.
If
People are getting really touchy about the semi-pro and pro thing, by the way.
if by chance I happen to get semi-pro, I'm gonna play. Like my intro is gonna be that game 420 Blaze It.
You mean the greatest game of the year?
Yes. Mountain Dew and Doritos.
I'm just looking forward to putting it in my bio and my Twitter thing. You know, I'll have blah blah blah, Gears, Carom 3D, Redstone, Halo Semi-Pro.
It has to be Halo 5 too. Halo 5.
No, I'll just say Halo. It's just
Halo?
outright, like, I'll just Halo Semi-Pro.
Oh yeah, that'd be hilarious. Questions for you, Skyline Arctic. I had the migrating host on COD Advanced Warfare. Games on Xbox One aren't supposed to be dedicated servers. It's been a selling point for PlayStation Online versus Xbox Live. I feel a bit scammed. I actually haven't seen that.
I don't think COD ever said they were having dedicateds.
I
I
feel
don't,
like
I don't
they
think
did.
they've ever said it. Nope, I
But-
don't think so.
They didn't. There is a
I'm almost positive that they've never said they're having dedicateds.
there is an article I read where they basically were like, "Hey guys, we're not playing peer to peer. Here's some server list." I felt like I read that somewhere. If I find that article, I'll post it next week. I don't feel like searching for it because it might take me a little while. Do you guys watch Formula One?
No.
Nope.
There's a track here in Austin. So like a few guys go to the races, but I don't watch it.
Question, Arctic, will you be playing the Halo 5 multiplayer beta? Hell yeah, Mr. Green. Hell yeah. That's why I got Master Chief Collection. I didn't even get Master Chief Collection to play the Master Chief Collection. I got it to play Halo 5 beta. I'll pay $60 for the Halo 5 beta. Colin, you see that movement? Woo-hoo-hoo!
I bought Crackdown for Halo beta. So. Master Chief Collection is a step up on Crackdown.
Yep.
I know this sounds creepy and weird, but I had a dream a few days ago. Scalus and Artie came to Chicago. We're chilling in my house. They were nice guys in my dream.
That's not weird at all. Or creepy.
It's a little weird. Mostly because I was a nice guy. That's pretty messed up that you'd say that. So Loki.
All I'm sorry, I'm not caught up on chat yet because I'm going back and reading all these.
I think I was going to have him, but there we go.
Question: Arctic, will you be playing Halo? Yeah, I'll play. Answer that. Arctic, when you getting into that PS4 from Kona? I hope Kona left. Did Kona leave? Kona leave.
Yeah,
No,
you
he
did.
didn't leave.
No, he's in there.
He's in there. Damn it. Did I have to tell the story about the PlayStation? All right, so here's my GameStop receipt, guys. I have 100 and like half, a little bit more than half on my. Here's my receipt. Here it is. So I have a little bit more than half on my PlayStation 4 ready to go. I came home today at lunch to go pick up my PlayStation 4. When I got home, Christy was like, "What are you doing? You scared us." And I was like, "Oh, I'm picking up the receipt to go pick up the PlayStation 4." She says, "Why are you going to pick it up right now? It's you get a bundle with GTA 5 and Last of Us on Black Friday." She's like, "Why would you pay this extra $60 when you can save 120?" And I was like, "Well, I'd only be saving 60 because I don't really care too much about Last of Us. So the reason I don't have it is because of that. That's the only reason." Christy wants me to make a smart purchase decision.
What do you guys want for Christmas this year? I'm at the point where I just buy whatever I want. So like, I don't know.
I don't have any. Yeah, I don't really have any Christmas things anymore. I guess the only thing I would want to buy right now that I is a smartwatch. Yeah. Moto 360.
Stupid smartwatches.
Hey, Colin, why are you hating?
Might as well just spend that money on another ship for Star Citizen. And sit in a hangar collecting dust, just like the watch would.
Did you guys watch Halo Nightfall? And if you did, what are your thoughts? Was it worth the money to produce?
I watched it. It was okay. I like the blur cutscenes from MCC better. Like, I thought they blew that out of the water by comparison. Seems kind of cool. I'm looking forward to episode 2. Did you watch it all?
Yeah, I watched it.
Nightfall?
Yeah, that was decent. I mean, it wasn't mind blowing. It was decent.
Those blur cutscenes, though.
How's the movement feel, Arctic? For what?
That's about H5.
Oh, I don't know. It looks amazing though. Any of the games this week you're getting? GTA 5. But I'm not getting it this week. Getting it next week. The dude from Sledgehammer said he was getting dedicated servers, but it's not coming.
I don't remember ever seeing it.
I'll see you in the beta. You'll remember my GT.
I had a dream about my cat. My Loki cat. Loki, say hi.
I had this weird dream where my foot fell off.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like part of my foot fell off. It looked like, I don't know. It was a weird dream. I don't know why I had that dream. I never have dreams. That was my dream I had this morning. When I woke up. It's like,
Were you just hopping around?
I was like walking strangely. I don't know what that means. It was weird. Do you want to wait? So I have to tell you guys the full story for this because I actually vividly remember it because it was so weird. So in the dream, I was eating a pizza. I was sitting there eating a pizza, and this pepper, jalapeno pepper, something like. I hate jalapeno peppers. It falls down in my shoe and gets into my sock, right? And so like I looked down in there, I was like, "Did something fall into my sock?" And nothing fell down in my sock, and I was like. Or at least I couldn't see anything, and I was like, okay. So then, like, I'm walking around, and then, like, I don't remember what happens. Like, I'm just doing this weird stuff in the dream, and I wake up, or I don't know if I woke up from sleeping in the dream or whatever, but I woke up in the dream, and, like, I'm walking around, I was like, my foot feels funny. And then I look down in my sock, and there's, like, this green, looked like a jalapeno, like part of my foot was turning into a jalapeno. So I took that part off, and it took off like half of my foot. So that was my dream, and then I was like walking around all weird. So maybe the dream had nothing to do with walking, but just that I don't like jalapenos. Like I just need to stay away from hot food.
It's weird.
I don't know. It was a weird dream, dude. Chemical jalapeno. Kale, what time do you get up to stream? 6 o'clock in the
Too damn
morning.
early. 5 o'clock every morning. Archie can start streaming.
Any more questions that I missed? Black Friday deals?
Right, Kona? Too fucking early.
Major Black is over there putting those conspiracy theories together. Kotaku posted an article today about people abusing the Walmart price match system, and they were getting the new PS4s for like $50. I saw it. I just couldn't bring myself to that level. But I know who would, though.
Wouldn't. I don't mess with that, man. Because what happens is you go through all the trouble. You spend all that energy, like, oh, man, I'm going to get this deal. I'm going to get this deal. And then you get an email like the next day, like, sorry, we made an error. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck you. Like, that's every single time, right? Like, they're not going to let all those actually ship out. Just saying.
Jalapeno Shotgun confirmed the Sunset Overdrive DLC. Guerrilla Reckoning. Neo said he was up at 3 last night when he started streaming. That's right, man. Here's
Just
the
go
thing.
to bed.
Here's the thing. And this is not like I started streaming like this because it is the only time I really get the game. Because I don't really get the game that a lot in the evening. Like when I do, it's like what I do in the evening is typically video editing. When I actually can do that. When I get home, like it's all family time, just about, until my daughter falls asleep, and she doesn't really fall asleep that often, or she takes a nap. So, what I actually found is that because I am not competing with the Gold Gloves, the Lyrics, all the other people that stream that have hundreds of thousands of viewers, or I should say followers, in the evening, I actually am finding a nice audience in the morning. Like, I get people that want to watch that are like about to go to work, or that just wake up and they're like, oh, okay, I'm eating some breakfast and I'm watching some whatever gameplay. It's actually really fun. It's cool.
Building that global audience.
Yeah.
European takeover.
And I don't stream 16 hours a day, Kona. Yeah, that's a good point. Big, what's up, Big? You know what, Colin? 2015 is the year of Heroes of the Storm and Overwatch for us.
Yeah, we were talking about it
Last week.
But I'll be playing a lot of Blizzard.
Big, you're playing Heroes of the Storm with us.
We need to put a team together.
Yep.
So here's what I want to do. December to January, Halo 5 beta. Here's the Storm beta comes out. I better fucking get in. I better get in the closed fucking beta. Or I'll be so pissed. And then we Here's the Storm. And then Overwatch comes out at some point. We hop on Overwatch. Grind out Overwatch all the way up till good games come out in the fall.
Who are my favorite streamers? I'll actually send you guys at the end of the show to my favorite. If someone, my favorite streamer is probably, I wouldn't even say probably. My favorite streamer is Caesar, hands down.
Yeah, give it to
CDN the
Caesar.
third has the absolute funniest, consistently funny, hands down, like some of the most original stuff you will hear on a stream. It's just flat out funny. It's hilarious. Every time I get the opportunity to catch that dude streaming, which is typically when I'm at work, and we throw up streams during lunch, that dude is, man, he has me in stitches, man. Next after that, I watch Gold Glove every now and again. I watch Co Carnage. I watch Towley. Towley's pretty funny. I watch I'm trying to think who else I watch. I watch the Gamer 2323, who's probably like one of my new favorite YouTubers. He doesn't stream a whole lot though.
I'd say like my favorite big one is probably Man vs. Game.
You've been talking. I haven't watched a full stream of him yet. I need to.
It's pretty legit.
And then after that, it's like I watch a bunch of tournament streams. So
Yeah,
it's like,
that's really what I do. Is whenever I open Twitch, if I see like the Dota has over 25,000 viewers, click it, go to whatever stream or whatever tournament's going on.
yeah.
Like
So
that's my usual process.
I'd say 90% of the people that the things that I watch on Twitch have to be tournaments. Like that's 90% of the things that I watch. Like every now and then, if I catch Caesar streaming, then I'll definitely go over to his. But there's not too many people I would say I consistently watch. And that's the thing with, like, if you are a content creator, and I try to share the love when I can, but if you actually are creating content, I find that you don't end up watching people a whole lot because you're typically too busy either doing your own thing or just creating content, right? Like there's not a whole lot unless you are doing some collaborations with people. So yeah, Go Glove is streaming right now. I follow Towley.
Kriparian and Trump for Hearthstone. I watch both
Cream. I watch Cream every now and again. Typically when he's playing DayZ. Tense consistently has a pretty good stream. We just gotta get that viewer count up. We'll send everybody to Tense's stream at the end of this. Gold Glove is a cool dude. Favorite YouTubers? Oh, man.
Freddie Wong, man.
I don't. Let me look at my subscription list.
Freddie Wong, 'cause he started where we started. Now he's at the top.
Now he's at the top. So I have the thing about YouTube subscriptions is that I frequently will I'll subscribe to someone, and if I don't like their content, I will unsubscribe in a heartbeat. I haven't watched one of his videos. I'm looking at it now. Like I haven't watched one of his videos in a while. I need to delete him. So some of my favorites are C Nanners. Subscribe to him. The Gamer 2323. Xcalazors. I like Xcal because he's one of the few people that can consistently play a lot of different games and be really good at them on PC and Xbox. So I got a lot of respect for him. A lot of these other dudes, I've seen them or I've played against them in other games, and they're trash at other games. So I don't know, especially a lot of the Call of Duty guys. Like I played them in Gears or Halo or something like that, and they're garbage. I watch Drifter. He has some really good content. Gold Glove. Gold Glove is just my dude, man. He's just a funny dude. Level Cap Gaming. Pretty good Battlefield stuff. That's like it. I got no more. Oh, a Blame Truth. I'm also subbed to Blame Truth. He's a cool dude too.
Freddie Wong, Total Biscuit. And I don't subscribe, but I've actually enjoyed every time I've been linked to a Game Grumps video, so I might subscribe.
Who?
Game Grumps.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They have a lot of videos, man.
It's a shit ton of videos.
Later, Kona. Minnesota Burns. I don't like his content. Yeah, I've watched some of his stuff. I'm not a big fan of the videos he produces because he always does troll stuff. Like that's not my thing.
Last question, then we'll talk about Interstellar for a bit.
Interstellar. Okay.
What do you think of hit markers in FPS games? Halo, Sesh. It's supposed to be COD, I think, not CS players. Don't seem to like them. I assume you mean like grenade hit markers? It's a design thing. Just depends on the game. That's why super boring response.
So doesn't matter. Like
There's trade-offs, right?
Colin, how
I've never been
how
playing a game like, damn these hit markers. Like that's never been the first reaction. That's something which you think about after you've played for like hundreds of hours. You know what I mean? Like
right.
there's so many things before that which can annoy the shit out of me. Like that's way towards the end in terms of
Yeah,
things
I
that I
was gonna say,
prioritize.
how big of a factor do you think hit markers on your goddamn grenades or your shots ultimately matter and the determining factor of who is the more skilled player? None? Just like, that's just like that's almost a rhetorical question because anyone that it has their mind on right like knows the answer to that question. Like it doesn't fucking matter. Like if you're getting outshot, you're just getting notified. Well, the other player's getting notified that they're outshooting the shit out of you, and then you die. And if you're not getting hit markers, then you know that you suck and you need to work on your aim. Then you die. Then when you respawn, you say, "Oh shit, I didn't even hit him." Who cares? It's like, yeah, like Colin said, it's so low, so low in the totem pole of issues with the game.
Yeah, like if I were to tune a game specifically for competitive play, then maybe I'd be more opinionated about it. But like in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty low.
All right, we getting ready? You ready?
Yeah, you want to do? We'll close out the show first.
Yeah.
Like,
So
for the YouTube people probably as well.
I mean, I'm not gonna show any gameplay or movie trailer.
People might accidentally click to the end.
All right, we'll sign off. So for everybody on YouTube, hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're gonna sign off. We're gonna talk about Interstellar.
Which, by the way, without spoilers, I'd recommend go seeing it.
yes, you have to go see it if you haven't already. But now we're gonna talk about it. If you are in the chat right now, you guys don't want to see it or hear us talk about it, then now is your time to leave. Head over to Tense's stream right now. I'm gonna give you guys the link and make sure he's still streaming first before I do that. All right, for those of you guys that are heading out, you guys want to go watch Dragon Age, I think is what he's playing. Yeah, go head over there. Go support my teammate Tense. Go watch him. Go watch him. Cool dude. Real chill. Good night, Mr. Green. Later, folks. Go head over to Tense's channel. All right, so
Interstellar.
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 Oh god damn it.
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Interstellar movie discussion.
Interstellar. Interstellar.
Yeah, Neem, I wouldn't listen if you haven't seen it. You will get spoiled. And it's a pretty big one.